So you're thinking about running, but not sure how to take the first step. My name is Brian Patterson, and I'm here to help. Welcome to Brian's Run Pod. Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Brian's Run Pod. I'm your host, Brian Patterson, and today I've got a fantastic guest lined up for you. We're chatting with Rachel Sinders, the powerhouse behind RachelMichelleRunning.com. Now, I do have something in common with Rachel, as we both have children who were born 10 weeks premature, but more of that later. And also, I'm a twin. Rachel's
Oh,
not
are you?
just, yes, I am. Rachel's just not any running coach. She's a marathoner. She's conquered races like Chicago, Boston, and Berlin. Plus, she's gearing up for London, and all the while raising funds for the March of Dimes in honor of her twins, Owen and Olivia. In our conversation, Rachel will share her transition from casual runner to dedicated coach, her passion for helping others, finding joy in running, and how she balances training with family life, whatever you're a seasoned runner or just starting out. Rachel's insights are just sure to inspire and motivate. So lace up your running shoes, get comfortable, and let's dive in and chat with Rachel. So I see you've been out running already today.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
actually really nice here. We had, I'm in Indiana, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
so Midwest of the United States,
Yeah.
and we have all the seasons here. And kind of last week got like a good taste of spring, which was
Yeah.
awesome. And then my long run on Saturday, it was hot and so windy, like
Mm.
terribly windy. So finally today, it was like a gorgeous, beautiful day. So it felt so good to get outside on any any day feels good, but
Yeah.
especially good when the weather is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I know I really enjoy this time of year, especially it's kind of getting to the spring,
Yeah,
and you feel
get a little taste of it.
like you don't feel the elements are battling against you when you're going out running.
Yeah, yeah. We've had
Um,
a pretty rough winter, so it's
mm,
nice to see the other side of it.
okay, we go into how's your training going for London, I just wanted to go back with a lot of my guests as to what was your experience of exercise slash running when you were growing up in high school or
Yeah, I was not an athlete at all. I never liked sports that involved balls and coordination, and I wasn't good at that sort of thing. I played through, like, elementary school and stuff. I did,
Mm,
like, various sports then, but it was more just for, like, a social thing. Went to high school and was not, like, skilled enough at any sport to play, really. Like, I went to a decent size, fairly competitive high school, and, it just I did tennis for, like, 2 years, but I wasn't very good. It was, like, one of the teams that you could just walk on and play. Um, so I never really found my thing. I don't know why I didn't try
mm,
running at that time. It just did not appeal to me at all. Like, the thought of going out and joining the cross country team and running for X number of minutes just
mm,
did not appeal to me. So it's interesting to think now, like, what my running would be like if I had given it a shot then. It makes me wonder because I'm like, maybe I wouldn't like running as much now if I had started so soon.
all right.
Some people I feel like get burned out on it if they start at a young age. That's not true for everyone, but for me, it was like I had to find it on my own. So it wasn't really until after high school here, then we go to college for
Yeah.
4 years.
Mm,
Really in college, I kinda started just, like, very casually going for a run, mainly because I was having fun and, like,
mm,
drinking and partying, and I felt like I needed to start doing something to take care of myself,
yeah,
and I was a college student. Running was cheap, you
yeah.
just put on some shoes and you go run, so it was an easily accessible thing for me to do, and I just started to enjoy it. It was just kind of like my escape, my time to myself in college, and I was not paying attention to my paces or anything. It was more just like let's go get some exercise.
Yeah.
And it just started to become like addiction, basically. Like it was just like, this is what I'm going to add into my life on a regular basis now.
Now, being a Brit and sort of kind of get the impression that in the US, that in some universities, sports is very much encouraged. Was
Yes.
that the case in your? I mean, I don't know what you majored in, but I mean, was that the kind of case in your university or not?
I went to a really small college,
Yeah,
so it is sports are a big deal here.
yeah,
To play at the college level, any sport, you really have to be the best of the best.
right,
Where I went to school, like I was a smaller school, so you didn't have to be quite as good, but it still is hard to play anything at a college level or run or anything. So, yes, it was a big deal in that I like enjoyed watching sports and
yeah.
like cheering for the team, but not so much that I felt the desire to be involved in it.
Was sport big thing in your family or
Um, Not huge. I mean, I have one brother
right?
and he did soccer and lacrosse, which are both big here. But it wasn't like anything my parents really like pushed on me and forced me to do. I think I pushed back a lot. Like, I don't want to participate in this. I don't want to, like, I didn't want to do volleyball is big here. That wasn't like a thing that I enjoyed. So they never really forced me to. And it took college when I started running on my own. It like took me finding it
Mm,
on my own time to really decide like this is actually fun.
right.
And it's one of those things is like I don't know if my parents would have forced me to run
Yeah,
sooner. I probably would have not liked it. Like I was the type that was like, I don't want to do what you're making me do. I want to find things on my own.
yeah.
Um,
So was there a particular event that sort of thought, well, maybe I could not, I don't know, not seriously, but I can sort of take it to the next level.
yeah. So I live in Indianapolis, Indiana,
Mm.
and I don't know how much you know about, Indy 500 race cars are
Oh
really
yeah,
big
yeah.
here,
I'm a
and we
Formula One
have
fan, so, so
okay,
kind of yeah,
so
yeah,
IndyCar started here.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
we have the Indianapolis Motor Speedway,
yeah.
and in May every year is our really big half marathon. It used to be the largest in the United States, so the Indy Mini Marathon. So, part of that, you do run around the track, which is 2.5 miles.
Right.
So it's a really cool attraction for people. A lot people come from all over to do this. So it starts in downtown Indianapolis and you have to go west and then you go around the speedway and back to downtown. It's kind of like our biggest one. So I was like, you know what? Like the mini's really cool. It's a good local race. It's 13.1 miles. Like I want to try this.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of am the person to like if I decide I wanna do something, like, I am pretty self-motivated to make that happen. So, it was after I was done with college and
Yeah.
I lived in Indianapolis, and I was working and everything, I just was decided, like, "I wanna do the mini. I'm gonna start training for it." So, I
Mhm.
just, like, found online a basic, like, mileage training plan and checked off my days as I went along, no workouts or anything, just running for miles, and I was not fast. So I did my first half marathon and it took me almost 3 hours. So I don't even know what that pace equals, something in the 12-minute, 13-minute per
Okay.
mile. I
Okay.
don't know. I'm talking in miles, so I'm probably confusing you. I don't
So,
know
so
kilometers.
yeah, yeah. So I think half
But anyway,
marathon is yeah, it's about
you know,
20
a
kilometers. Yeah.
3-hour half marathon is not
Mm, mm,
it's not bad. It was my first one, and I
yeah.
that kind of just, like, lit my fire to, like, I wanna do this again and do it better the next time. So I did. I kept trying, and every it was kind of just like an every year I'll do the mini,
Yeah.
and did that for several years, and slowly got faster at it, and then kind of decided like, well, that's always in the spring. Maybe I should do a half marathon in the fall also.
Mm.
So we have another good local race in Indianapolis in the fall. So I decided to start doing that for a half and just bounced back and forth between those 2 races basically, and had kids along the way, so there was time off and all that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was really after I had kids that I pushed them a lot in the jogging stroller,
Right.
and it helped me get so much faster. So, I would
Really?
push them for all my training runs. I would be out running, and I would have 2 because I had twins
Yeah.
first, and I would have 2 babies in my stroller pushing them, and then I would go do a local race. I'm like, "This is easier." Like, I can run faster now. I'm
So
not
it was
pushing anything.
a form of weight
Yeah.
training,
It
and
was,
also
really.
they're obviously week by week, or they're getting heavier as well.
Yeah,
So
they're
you're
getting heavier too,
exactly,
so I'm getting
yeah.
stronger, I
So you're getting
guess.
stronger. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you didn't do at the time, or maybe you didn't have the time to do any sort of supplemental training or classic, like weight training or anything like that. It was all.
Yeah, I belong to, like, a local, YMCA, like, gym.
Mm,
I would just do the elliptical way too much, like, do other
yeah.
cardio things.
Mm,
Maybe once in a while go to, like, a strength training class there,
right.
but it was never anything that was, like, regular. It
Right.
was just kind of like, "Oh, I have time, I'll go do this." It was mostly just running and cardio.
Right. So obviously you
Kind of, yeah.
felt well ever since that particular. Did you do so? It was like you set yourself a goal that you're going to do this particular half marathon in at the speedway, and
Uh-huh.
then but you didn't do any sort of like 5K, 10Ks or any other
Yeah, I
types of.
think I started, like we have a few different local races just around the holidays, like,
Mm,
some of our big holidays are the 4th of July or Thanksgiving, so there's always, like, a 5K or
yeah.
shorter distance run then, so I would do those too.
Mm.
Um, so I found myself more and more signing up for just a variety of local races, because I just enjoyed it a lot.
All right. Okay. So you talked about your twins briefly there. So,
Mhm.
and I know you raise, before we get on to you forming the community, so I know you raise money for the charity.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did, New York City in
Yeah.
the fall last year. So
Yeah.
I did March of Dimes for
Yeah.
a fundraiser for New York City.
Yeah.
So my twins were born at 30 weeks, so they were about 10 weeks premature,
Yeah.
and they were little itty bitty, like 3
Mm-hmm.
pounds each.
Mm.
They spent 10 weeks in the NICU, so they didn't come home really until their due date, and, I don't know, you've had a child in the,
Yeah. Alice.
we
Yeah.
call
Alice was, well, we call it SCABU, Special Care Baby Unit. But yeah,
okay,
she was there 6 weeks. So she,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a
It's really
lot of,
tough.
like, up and down, like, "Oh, they're gaining weight, they're
Mm.
maintaining their body temperature. Oh, nope, now we had a bad day." So it was
Yeah.
just a lot of up and downs, then times 2.
Mm. All right.
So it was a hard time for us,
Yeah.
but I'm so, so thankful, like, we have wonderful hospital near here, wonderful doctors and nurses who
Yeah.
took care of them, and it just they became like extended family to us as
Right.
we
That's
spent so
great.
much time there.
And
So,
they're
just
both fine.
they're good now, yeah.
They're good.
So, New York City was over their 13th birthday, so it just
All
seemed
right.
fitting that, I would do March of Dimes in their honor, and then they also came along to New York City when I did the marathon, so it would they got a birthday trip out of it too.
All
Mhm,
right. Okay. Are they coming
mhm.
to Are they coming to London with you or
No,
no?
they're not, sadly, they want to, but, just my husband.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, so you've decided that, well, you're getting stronger through using the stroller, and everything.
Mhm.
So what, in your minds, did you think that I could, either take this, help others, as it were?
Yeah, I started to learn more on my own
Mm,
about training and the different training philosophies and how to get faster, how to really train properly versus just going out and doing every run at a harder I
Set
mean,
pace, yeah.
I ran too many runs at a harder effort, basically. I
Right.
learned more about, like, the easy days easy and then specific workouts that you do for whatever goal race you have.
Yeah.
I kinda learned that on my own and started to have really good success, so I remember I finished a half marathon, and I was like a huge PR for me, and I thought, "This was easy. I could do this another time. I could do a full marathon, and I could qualify for Boston." And it just, like, kind of hit me, like, why am I not trying? Like,
Yeah.
I just was always partially just because of, like, young kids at home, so I also have a younger daughter as well, so I have
Yeah.
3 kids
Mm.
total. And I was at the point in my life where my kids were probably, like, 5 and 2 or something, so they
Mhm.
were not older, but, like, I could get away, my husband was willing to, like, share responsibilities with me, and I could get away and train more.
Mm.
And, again, I'm just very self-motivated, and I was like, if I could run this half marathon at this pace," there's calculators online that will tell you, like, "Okay, if you wanna do a full,
Yeah.
that's what it would equal." And I
Yeah.
was like, "That's a BQ time for me, like, I could do this." And, then at the time, I was doing a lot on my own, but I thought I could have a coach who could help me.
Right.
So I sought out a coach, just a local coach here,
Yeah.
and I trained with her, and I just learned a lot from the experience, and I was just thinking to myself, like, "This was really fun. I've learned so much on my own. I wanna be the person that's helping others now." Like,
Yeah.
this is my passion. I've seen myself grow so much as a runner, and I just feel like so having a running coach doesn't need to be something that's only for an elite runner or
Mm.
someone that's, like, the top. You used to think, like, "Oh, I'm not worthy of a running coach. I'm a mid-pack runner," and that's not true. Like, anyone can have a running coach. Um, so I was at that time in my life was a good point in my career,
Yeah.
that I was gonna take a step back from my full-time job just to be more present at home with my kids, but at the same time, I like to be busy and I like to always do stuff, and I was
Have
like,
a bit of
"This is
me
the
time.
perfect time." Yeah, like, I was at home with my kids, but I still needed something to fulfill my passion and
Yeah.
to make me happy as a person, and run coaching just fit the bill completely. Like, I can be a running coach during the day when my kids are in preschool
Mm.
or in school. I can have my outlet, I can work with others, but then it can work around my schedule, and I'm not gonna, like, have time away from my kids because of it. It's not gonna, like, hinder, like, my family
Mm.
in any way.
Yeah.
It just fell into place. And it
Alright.
just, started my coaching started about 6 years ago, and
Okay.
I only had a handful of runners. I mean, I'm just, like, posting this on Facebook, basically, like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna be a running coach," like,
Yeah.
a couple people reached out,
Yeah.
and I loved it.
Mm.
Um, so, yeah, we can
So,
talk more
did
about
you
that
do
process.
anything, like professional qualifications?
Yeah, I did the, Road Runners Club of America, so that's
Yeah.
RRCA that we
Right.
have here. So I did, this was all pre-COVID, so I did
Oh, yeah.
go away for the weekend.
Excuse me.
Now you're okay. Now it's mostly just an online process, but at that time, it was an in-person training. So it was a weekend away, and I loved it. Like, I got to know these people that I was, like, learning with. We bounced ideas off each other. It was so fun, and I was just like it just lit my fire, like, "This is what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna start this business," and
Yeah.
like I said, I'm just motivated to do things when
Was
I
there
feel like it's
anything
the right
that you
thing.
found that, okay, you were learning on your own sort of thing? Was there anything
Yeah,
that
I
you
mean,
found when you were with, others, that's under something that kind of
yeah, I think a lot of coaching, you can get the training that I went to was great. Like,
mm,
it's all this is the different philosophies, and this is how things work. This is what lactate threshold is.
Yeah.
I'm but it's coaching to me, it has my coaching has evolved
Mhm.
tremendously. You learn more about how to be a better coach, and that's not something that you can get taught in a classroom setting or from a book. It's
Mm.
more about getting to know other people's personalities and how they operate and learning how someone might react to something versus someone else. And I know I've become a better coach over the last 6 years because I've had so many experiences to learn from,
Mm.
and just it takes time.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you're a better coach now than you were then. Is there anything you would have told yourself now? Well, if you told yourself then, from coming from the
Yeah.
experience that you've gained over the last 6 years?
I think to learn to just focus more on, like, learning how athletes, like, feel
Mm.
versus, like, "Okay, I see your workout, I see your numbers, that looks good, let's continue going." Now I'm more like, "Do you how do those paces feel?" Like, I want my athletes to feel like they don't have to look at their watch to know kinda what they're running. Like, and I wanna
Oh,
know,
interesting.
like, you learn how it feels, or, like, say you're training for a marathon. I want someone to understand, like, their effort level. So you go out and you run a marathon and you know you don't put 100% effort in to those first several miles. Like, that's
Yeah.
not the goal. I wanna teach people, like, how to properly race and when to really push for the effort. And I think a lot of that comes from me just communicating with them. So after a workout, I can see the data, but I'm also like leaving comments and I want feedback. Like, how did this really feel? Like, did this feel like this was way too hard of an effort and you're down in a hole that you're going to take days to recover from?
Right.
Then I need to make sure I adjust my workouts for you properly. Did this feel totally fine? Your heart rate was in the range it should be?
Yeah.
Great. So I just think back then I didn't know to get so into how people feel and like communicate as much as I do now.
Right. Uh, I know running has, well, over the last 10 years and 15 years, it's totally evolved.
Hmm.
What sort of changes have you seen? I mean, we don't talk about the technology. I mean,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, of course we can talk
uh,
about shoes, but
the shoes, and everything like that. What
yeah,
changes
I
have
think,
you seen?
I mean, the biggest positive I think I've seen is that many runners now are doing so much better with fueling and nutrition and hydration. I think there's just been more of a push just on social media or just anywhere you go,
Mm,
more access to different nutrition products. So,
mm.
like when I first started running, I don't know what you guys have, but we just had this like goo brand gels that were like thick,
Right.
hard on your stomach, just sat
Okay.
in your stomach.
Okay.
And now there's just so many options. And I
Yeah.
think communicating with my runners too about nutrition has been amazing, and being like, people were way under fueling for so long. Like, or you get up and you run early in the morning, fasted 5 days a week. Like, you need some nutrition in there. You're going
Right.
to feel better on your run. You're going to recover better. So it's not
Yeah.
just learning nutrition during the run, but like what you need afterwards to really like fuel your body properly. I think that's been a huge change in how people feel on the runs and afterwards.
Yeah. Do people come to you and say, "Well, I know personally myself, I'm kind of better in the morning, although,
Mhm.
you know, I'm 60 now, but, 60, but I mean, I know maybe 20 years ago, I would think nothing of going out the door at
Oh, yeah.
5:30, but,
Uh-huh.
I find that I really, really, if I have to go to the gym or go running after work, I have to really, really have to motivate myself. But I do
Ye
feel a lot better for it. I mean,
Mhm.
have you found that from talking to your clients?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have just scheduling restrictions that are just like, "This is when I have to go." So then it's like, "Okay, you have to run it early in the morning." let's figure out a plan that we make sure you eat something small before you go, or you do some sort of dynamic workout to warm up. So you're not just going out there on legs that just rolled out of bed and
Yeah.
you feel a little better. So it's just a matter, or knowing someone's schedule and being like, they tell me like, this day I can get into work later. I'm like, okay, well then we'll do your workout that day. Like it's
Yeah.
a matter of working around someone's schedule, or
Mm.
they have more free time on the weekends. So obviously that's when we're gonna do your long run, and
Yeah.
um trying to make it work. So I'm never gonna tell an athlete like, you can only run after work. That's not gonna work for me if you run in the morning. I think that what I do really has to fit into their lives. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want someone to come to me looking for a coach, and I'm like, "This is what you have to do. This is when you have to do it," and it becomes this huge burden in their life. I want
Mm.
coaching to be a joyful experience. I want it to be fun. I want it to fit into your lifestyle so that you don't feel like it's a have to do. It's something you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good advice. So, I know you had one of your runners. Was I think is it Liz B? I think you said you sort of was managed to do a 20-minute personal record.
Yeah,
Uh,
it probably that she was one of my initial ones, that I trained, and she did do Chicago Marathon.
yeah.
But yes, I've had that. I think you probably got that on my website,
Yeah, yeah. I
which
think I did. Yeah.
I'm not super great at technology, so I have not updated that in a while. I'm not gonna lie, like, that
Yeah.
is not. I'm just
But I
the
just
one
wanted to.
woman
Yeah.
show here. So,
Yeah.
yes, I've had amazing successes with PRs and athletes that have qualified for Boston, which is a huge goal for a lot of people.
Mm.
One of my athletes that I've coached for years, like, she's in the ultra world now, so she did a 100-mile race.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's
Oh,
really,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is so exciting to me though, because it forces me to, like, grow as a coach and learn
Yeah.
more about the other distances. Yeah, but I think just beyond, like, saying I've helped so and so PR or cut off all this time, I think as a coach, I'm really proud of just people that run smarter, or,
Right.
like, maybe you don't PR in your race, but you finished feeling good. You didn't finish, like, thinking you were dying and you're in bad shape, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I want people to learn how to run properly and how to feel good and feel good about themselves.
Yeah. So what's your do you remotely coach, or is it predominantly a
Mhm.
lot of your clients are one-to-one?
Yeah, everyone's a one-to-one. So
Yeah.
all everything I do is totally customized for my athletes.
Yeah.
It's all online. So
Okay.
I use a training platform that's online.
Yeah.
I program your workouts there, and then with your smartwatch, all the data syncs back.
Okay.
Um,
Which one's that?
V.O2.
Okay, yeah. I've heard of other ones, coach, athlete type
Yeah, there's
software ones.
several
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
ones out there that are all
Yeah.
pretty similar.
But you can put in a diary of their runs, according
Yep,
to,
yep.
yeah, that kind of
Mhm.
thing. So
And then there's a spot after each activity, they can leave me a comment and I can leave comments. So I encourage a lot of communication then through the app, so it's
yeah,
all in one place.
yeah,
A lot of times if something bigger comes up, like, I'm like, "Send me an email, we'll set up a time to talk on the phone and work
right.
through this."
Mm,
So I wanna be accessible as much as possible because of just me living in the Indianapolis, Indiana area and word of mouth, like, a good amount of my athletes live here locally,
yeah,
so I am able to. I don't necessarily run with them as a coach, like,
right.
I'm friends with a bunch of them, so we do meet up for runs and stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm at least at all the local races, so I
Mm,
wanna be out there cheering and being a supportive person, and so I do get a lot of, like, my local runners get a lot of visibility.
okay.
I do have people then throughout the rest of the country as well, which I don't get to see in person as much, but I still am just on top of things when it comes to communicating with them and being available for them.
Yeah. And that's a wrap for another exhilarating episode of Brian's Run Pod. Thanks for tuning in, folks. As always, we've got your back with all things running. And next week, get ready for some more awesome beginner hints and tips to kickstart your running journey. Don't forget, you can now send me a message. Yep, you heard it right. Brian's Run Pod has now become interactive with the audience. If you look at the top of the episode description, tap on send us a text message. You can now tell me what you think of the episode, or alternatively, what you would like covered. If you're lucky, I might even read them out on the podcast. Hey, if you want to keep up with all the latest updates, behind the scenes fun, and even some exclusive content, make sure to follow me on social media. We've also launched a shiny new Facebook page. Just simply search for Brian's Run Pod and give us a like. And don't forget to hop over to Instagram, where you can catch all our visual adventures at Brian's Run Pod. For those of you who love diving deep into the episodes, head over to our website, www.briansrunpod.co.uk, and there you'll find some detailed show notes and handy chapter markers, making it easy to navigate through your favourite discussions. Please leave a review, as it will help others find this podcast. Music is by Happy Day by Stock Audio, not forgetting artwork by Alice Patterson, and also thank you to my producer, Anna Patterson. So, till next week, thanks again for listening.